r/AskReddit. What is the dumbest question someone legitimately asked you? By Pixels. Had a customer ask if she could pay her bill over the phone. I asked what kind of credit card. Cash. She wanted to pay cash over the phone. Someone asked me at work if this mirror was expired because it had a manufacture date on the back. I was weighing a patient, and she asked me if it measured in Celsius. My eyes are two different colors, and the question I'm most often asked about them is, did you know your eyes are two different colors? I'm amused when someone asks me whether I see different colors out of each eye, or even better, whether I see in 3D. One day one of my students said, I have to work today, to which I replied, so do I. He looked at me and asked, honestly, oh really? Where do you work? Here, I work here, right where I am standing. I don't do this as a service to your parents. Boss, could you print out that file, scan it, and email it to me? I could just email it to you, boss. My own sister asked me how we were related to my grandparents. Not anything super mind-boggling, but I worked as a server at an infamous Italian restaurant during college. Here's my interaction with a guest one evening. Guest, I'd like to order the spaghetti with marinara sauce, but can I get fettuccine noodles instead? Me, sure thing. Guest, oh, and I'd like to please substitute the marinara with Alfredo sauce. And please add chicken. Me, I would have to charge you for the chicken Alfredo, then. Note there was a few dollars in price difference between the two dishes, Alfredo being more expensive. Guest, but I ordered the spaghetti with marinara. I legitimately had to argue with this person for a few moments as to why I couldn't magically substitute out the entire entree for a different one with no price difference. Guest ended up being super crabby for the remainder of the time, and I'm fairly certain didn't tip at all. If you had a heart transplant, would your memories go away? Going through the border, from Canada into the US, border guard, what's your citizenship? Me, hands over passport, which notes my birthplace as Vancouver, British Columbia, Canadian. Border guard, no, what's your citizenship? Me, louder, I'm Canadian. Border guard, yelling what's your citizenship? Me, I don't know what you're asking me. Border guard, where were you born? Was it Colombia? Me, British Columbia is a province in Canada. Border guard, waves me through. A girl asked me if honey came from bears. I'll never forget it. I used to work for Bank of America as a teller. Someone gave me half a $20 bill and asked for $10. They did not understand that it's either worth $20 or nothing. I was training a new colleague in the cafe I worked at. We have a number of plant-based milk substitutes, as I was trying to explain to her. Some people don't drink dairy, often because cow's milk contains lactose. Alright, so what animal does soy milk come from? I used to work at Disney World, and a question I would get on the daily is, what time is the 3 o'clock parade? If penguins need water to survive, doesn't that mean they're fish? I used to work at a bakery. A customer once asked me, when the bread isn't warm anymore, that means it's not fresh anymore, so I can have it for free, right? No. I used to be a high school college prep teacher. One semester, I had quite a number of students who said they wanted to become surgeons. So one day I showed the class a neat video of a surgeon slicing open a grape with a scalpel and then stitching it back up with this new, technologically advanced pair of robotic arm things. The video was met with many oohs and ahs, and when it was over a hand shot up. I'll never forget her question. What was wrong with the grape? Isn't it a shame unicorns went extinct? This person was an adult and thought unicorns exists during medieval times. My cousin bought a map from a nearby fancy store for tourists. After perusing it for no less than 2 hours, she asked me, how does this north-south stuff work? The side I'm facing is north, right? And if I turn right, north also turns right, no? She was 20. Do foreign exchange students go home to do homework? Yes, someone really asked that. Why do meteors always land in craters? My friend once asked, what if they made a sea world but instead it's centered around the land? I responded with, so basically, a zoo? Is cherry vanilla coke made with cherries and vanilla? mixed together, or is it made with vanilla cherries? Vanilla cherries? Watching a documentary on dinosaurs in class once. Girl sitting at table in front of me turns around as the documentary is playing. Hey, they didn't have cameras around when there were dinosaurs, right? I just turned to my friend and we both started laughing. Good times. I miss geology. So Trump is our president, right? Does that mean he's in charge of our state or the whole world? Sorry, but I've never understood this whole president thing. This was asked to me by a fellow high school senior in civics class. Not me, but overheard someone asking a restaurant server, your coupon says it's valid 7 days a week. Does this include weekends? On a ski lift, at what elevation do deer turn into elk? They evolve at level 37, but will turn to moose instead if they are holding a maple leaf stone. One of my good friends builds computers. He sold me the components of his old desktop and he brought it over to my house so he could transfer them to a new case for me and then build his new computer. It was taking a while and my mom was agitated that he was there so long and asked, "Is what you're doing even legal?" Was asked a friend of mine who worked in a bookshop. "Excuse me. Do these stairs go up?" "Only at the bottom. At the top they go down." I was a freshman in college sitting in biology class and had a girl raise her hand and ask, "This might be dumb, but what do trees do?" The teacher had to ask her if she was being serious, which she said yes, and the look on his face was priceless. You could tell he was thinking, how the duck are you even in college? After handing me a 50-cent coupon and me explaining the finally cost was $2.50. Well, damn, how much was it before the coupon? 3. A couple years ago my aunt asked me if my hair color was natural, which at the time my hair was purple. Having a conversation about traveling. Me, I've always wanted to road trip up to Alaska and see the northern lights. Her, looking at me like I'm a moron. Oh yeah? How are you going to drive to Alaska? Me, in my car. Huh? You can't drive there. And then I realized she thought Alaska was an island. I had to explain to her that although Alaska and Hawaii were always in little boxes next to the mainland of USA maps, that doesn't mean they are both islands. 10 years later I married her. Does Halloween ever fall on Friday the 13th? Took my buddy a few seconds combined with our what the duck stares to realize what he had just asked. What nationality are you? Canadian. No, I mean, what nationality? Do you mean heritage? Polish, I guess. No, listen, nationality, I don't know what you're asking. Whispers, nationality, like, are you white, black, etc. Just look at me, I'm white as snow, and that's not nation. Cool, I didn't want to assume anything. My stepmom once asked if islands float around in the ocean. My brother burst out laughing, and I just looked flatly at my dad and said, "You married this woman, we still give her grief about it." While walking on a trail to the peak of a snow-covered mountain in Alaska in early summer, is that real snow? Didn't even know how to answer that one. A friend of my daughter's when they were 15 or 16 was staying at our home one weekend, as she did most weekends. She was crying. My daughter was laughing and told her to ask me. She was scared that she may be pregnant because she had had unprotected sex with another girl. I had to explain to her that wasn't how it worked. She thought that because she had an orgasm, that meant she was pregnant. "If I punched you, would your brother feel your pain?" said one idiot to me, a twin. "No, but you might." Context: we were both 17-year-old girls at the time. I had never had a boyfriend and she'd had several. Huh? Can you get pregnant from swallowing? Me, no, it just goes into your stomach and you digest it. Huh? But there's a small chance, right? Me, no. Huh? But after your stomach it can go down there, right? Me, no. The digestive system and reproductive system aren't connected. Yeah, that last bit is technically untrue, but it was simple enough to get the point across to her. This is a sort of misunderstanding that happens because of abstinence-only sex ed. The only reason I knew anything about sex was that I wanted to be a doctor and was obsessed with human biology. I have a twin sister. I'm a guy. People constantly ask if we're identical. What is the dumbest question someone has asked you? Post it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.